Hey guys, we're now going to be going to the Spring of Memories for a relatively cheap clear. This one is against Spherimorph. The mission is 10 turns or less, no continues, no KOs. It's a fairy, weak to light or dark. We're going to be just using Yuna to kill it relatively simply. This is the team we're using, and the gear is relatively cheap as well. I'll show you in a moment, but let's get in here and give it a go. So we're going to be using the Neovision's Awakened Seymour, who is basically just going to be auto-covering and guarding. Waka is going to be passive-provoking. He can just guard as well. Yuna is going to use her LB on turn 1. Braska can do support from the Faith. That's a modifier buff for evocation. And then we can just guard Yuna as well. She's just a support chainer, basically. So there's going to be some attacks that Seymour will cover. You know, he's guarding, whatever. It's relatively low damage. We're using the Obsidian Bracer to auto-break as well. We're going to go ahead and kill next turn, so Waka can use his LB to imperil the boss. We can shift our Yuna. And then she's going to do Staff Imperil, Magnus, and then the upgraded Hymn of the Faith. We can just guard Seymour again. We can just guard these two guys as well. They did their thing. And some more attacks. Again, we're just like covering it with Seymour, whatever. Okay, we're going to use Yuna now to kill. So Yuna will do her her shifted LB. We're going to support chain with Aroga and then just Arrow. And then Yuna will triple a Wind, Chaos Wave Awaken as well. You can use whatever element you want. Anyway, we're going to use Yuna, wait just a moment, and then chain our Chaos Wave Awaken guys. And Yuna will come in there somewhere. There she did. She did 2.7 billion. I think the boss has 1 billion or something, so, you know, pretty much overkill. Huge overkill. Okay, I'll show you the gear in just a moment. Also, that gives us a guaranteed Neovision's pull, so that'll be fun. And we get... Oh, we got to actually go do it. Anyway, there it is. So really, all that matters is Yuna. Now, of course, my Yuna is, like, you know, EX3 and all, but I didn't use her card. I didn't use too much expensive gear. I'll show you what I did use right now. But anyway, yeah, the boss is weak to only light or dark, so make sure you use those elements. I know most of the Final Fantasy X cast are water element, but don't use water on that guy. So the team we used was Seymour, who was literally just Obsidian Bracer and his staff, you know, whatever. Basically all naked, as you saw. He took like no damage almost. We just guard every turn. He auto-covers the first 2 turns. Waka is passive provoke evasion. I don't even know if that's necessary, but he was. So Tulian's card, you can get that from the Vision card select tokens if you really need one. Mogul Charm, and then a little bit of evasion. And yeah, he just does his LB, which is basically a 120 light in peril. We'll come back to Yuna. Braska is just on an Erinys Ring Esper, and the reason we chose Braska is because he does support from the Faith. It's a 30x modifier boost for Evocation Limit Burst. If you're not using Yuna, then Braska is not important. But other than that, just Erinys Ring and an Esper with a elemental chaining skill learned. And Yuna is literally just here because she has support chains. So I gave her her TMR or STMR, and she chains a Wind, Chaos Wave Awaken. You could also swap her out with, like, you know, 2 units using like Blue Wave or something. So 2 copies of this, and you can chain that. Just someone to support chain is all that really matters. And then Yuna in the base form is completely naked. Shift form, we're using a cheapy card, the Ruin to Remedy card, you know, whatever. And then some, you know, a few STMRs in here, but they're like cheap STMRs, you know, 5 stars, etc. Shy Mermaid is a Neo STMR, but it's in the Clash of Wills shop. And then base form, or her gear, is again trying to avoid the big high-class STMR. So only 1 copy of her own necklace, Seymour staff, etc. And then her stats are 250 LB, 235 Evo, 290 Esper damage, and once again, I've said it 100 times, I'll say it again, mine is not crowned, so you don't need that. Let's go ahead and grab those Neovision's pearls, or tickets, and we'll see what we get. Maybe I'll get myself a Ject or something. That would be fun and exciting, or another copy of Titus, or I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff I want, and even more stuff that I don't want. So we'll see what we get. And our reward for killing Spherimorph was, or is, Yesh. Blah. I already had her, didn't really want her. She's only EX1, so like, not the worst. Not the worst ever, but it's Yesh. It's Yesh. Anyway, I used all my tickets last night on Jekt. Trying to get a copy. I got no copies of Jekt. None. After like 80 tickets, all on Jekt, I got one Neo. It was an off-banner Knights of Grand Show. That was it. One Neo and 80 tickets. Anyway, back on topic. That was the Spherimorph fight. Hope it was informative and or helpful. See you in a bit.